Hey guys, ClinDarden.com, and of course the House of Biceps. Alright guys, I'm here at the House of Biceps answering your questions, and a big question that's been coming in this week with strongmen at an absolute all-time high. World's Strongest Man has aired. It's been all over Facebook's. Again, Arnold USA is finished. Arnold Australia is taking place right now. A lot of people are asking, how strong should I be inside the gym on the power lifts before I should consider competing at strongman? You know, this is a very valid question. It's a question that gets asked a lot. And it's a question that I'm sure that I asked at the beginning of my career. Getting involved in the sport of strongman, I didn't really have implements to train with. The only thing that I did have was a garage gym. I had a squat rack, I had a bench press, I had some bars, some plates. That's all that I had. So all I could see in my mind was what I was strong enough to do. And then I could see guys on TV, or there was no such thing as YouTube back then, what guys were posting they could do on the internet and a few websites that they had. So I was trying to get an idea, if you could log press 300 pounds, which was a big log press back then, how much was your bench press? How much was your incline? Because that's what I could do. I could flat bench, I could incline. Therefore, if I could flat bench or incline something similar to what they could do, I should be able to log press similar to what they could. But somehow in that long process, I forgot about all of my years of fighting and martial arts. And as I got older, and I fought for more than 10 years, as I got older, I got more involved with lifting weights, bodybuilding, powerlifting, power building, whatever you want to call it. As I became much bigger and much stronger, my kicks and punches became harder. And I continued to go fight with some of the best fighters in the country. And there were people who were younger than me, much smaller and weaker than me, that could punch and kick a lot harder than I could. And of course, the whole pound for pound thing comes into play here. A smaller person does tend to be faster. When I fought people who were comparatively the same size or body weight as me, I was much faster and much harder hitting than they were. But there was another group of individuals that could punch faster, they could kick faster, and they could hit harder. Whether it was their just pure speed, whether they weighed less, they put more of their body into it, their technique was better, whatever it was, there were still a lot of people that could punch and kick and move a lot faster and hit a lot harder than I could. So being strong in the gym, and I learned this really quick the more that I got involved in strongman, being strong in the gym was not the end-all, be-all of how your performance was going to be on strongman contest day. I mean, I really was not that strong in the gym, but somehow I could perform really well at a strongman contest. I was the lightest guy in my class. I actually weighed in with jackets on and jeans with my pockets filled with rolls of quarters. That way I could move up a class and compete against heavier guys. Why? Because I was a lot faster and a lot more athletic than those heavier guys. And I used my athleticism, my youth, my speed to beat those guys. And you may say, Clint, that's fine. You were young, you were an amateur then. And you're absolutely right. As I continued to get more involved and more advanced in the sport of strongman, it became more important for me to get stronger inside the gym. But you can look all the way up to the top. Mr. Phil Pfister, one World's Strongest Man, an American, beat Pudzianowski to win World's Strongest Man, made the finals many years in a row when he could barely deadlift 700 pounds. Now you may be saying, Clint, 700 pounds is a lot of freaking weight to deadlift, and you would be right. 700 pounds is a very impressive weight for someone to deadlift, but not really when that's just double your body weight. Not really when you are making the finals at World's Strongest Man and you're still competing against guys who are deadlifting 800 to 900 pounds for reps. But he still managed to always make the finals and then finally win World's Strongest Man. Now, we'll say that year that he won World's Strongest Man, he did add about 70 to 80 pounds to his deadlift that year. Also worked on his athleticism. That got him the championship. So how strong should you be? Well, maybe that's like saying how tall should you be to play basketball? Although you can't really make yourself taller, but you can make yourself stronger. My point is, even if you're short, if you like the game of basketball, get a basketball and dribble. Work on the fundamentals, work on the drills. If you have a child who's really short, but loves the game of basketball, you don't tell them, no, don't play basketball. You're not going to be tall. You hand him a basketball. You let him develop some skills. You let him have fun. If he enjoys the sport, if you enjoy the sport, you might end up being the next Bugsy Mogues. Then, well, you might end up being the next, well, then you might end up being the next, well, then you might end up being the next Bugsy Mogues. Bugsy Mogues, Bugsy Mogues. Or Andrew Stumpy Raines. The guys who are a little over 5 foot tall, but somehow still make it to World's Strongest Man. Somehow win the NBA dunking contest. If you love the sport, get involved with the sport today and work on your weaknesses. Unless you're short, you can't really get taller, but you can learn how to play pretty darn good for a short man. Hope this answers your question, guys. We'll see you next time.